the different planets and the different stars. This is why when we go, as if it's true or not, because it is a controversial debate if man have been to the planet Mars. But let's just say if man have been to the planet Mars. I'm not saying that they did, but let's just say it is, because in our world, on this planet, it is taught in our educational system that man have been to the planet Mars. All right, so let's just say that. Let's go along with that. It don't matter if it's true or it's false. That don't matter. What matter is on the planet Mars, along with other planets, those planets are prisons of fallen angels. That's what y'all don't know and understand. The stars, the actual stars of the heaven, some of them are prisons of fallen angels. That's what y'all don't understand. That's what y'all not being taught in your churches or in your religious teachings or whatever you want to call it. So in our universe is a prison of fallen angels. We live in our universe, which is actually heaven and earth. We live in a prison. That's the best way I can say it. So, and that's what y'all don't understand. Now, there was a time that when the mark of the beast began, God going to release these prisons. It's like He's going to release the river Euphrates to unlock, so the four angels could get out of them and start tormenting or torturing man. And so, but y'all don't understand that. Y'all read that, but y'all don't understand how dramatic or how these things going to happen and take place and why and when. So very soon, when the Euphrates is completely dry up, God going to send an angel to unlock that prison in the Euphrates, so those demonic forces could be released and torment and torture man for a period of time. And that's the same way with different planets and stars throughout the universe and the galaxy. God going to unlock these prisons throughout our heaven, what we call universe, to come down on earth to torment man for a period of time. That's going to happen when the mark of the beast take place. And that's another thing too. Y'all don't really understand and know what the mark of the beast is. The mark of the beast is not a chip. The mark of the beast is, let me finish that. The mark of the beast is not a chip that you put within your physical hand or in your physical head or any other part of your body. The mark of the beast is actually the Sunday law, Sunday worship. If you study biblical history from the beginning of Nimrod all the way up to Revelation, why did Nimrod do what he did to build the Tower of Babel? Why did Nimrod went out to kill the believers of Yah? Because he was forcing people to worship the sun god, Baal, which is known as the mark of the beast. And so, but I'm not going to get into all that. Who is Nimrod? Who is Baal? What is Babylon? All that took place on the first day of the week, what we call Sunday. So Sunday is actually the mark of the beast. According to the book of Revelation, it make it very clear when those who receive the mark of the beast, that's when Yah going to unleash these prison or of these fallen angels to torment mankind. This is going to happen very, very, very soon. Now, why Yah is telling me this is going to happen very, very, very soon is because the President of the United States of America, Trump, y'all president, he was put in office to set up the mark of the beast. We could fall under a new law anytime now related to Sunday worship. Why you think President Trump is giving all these Christian naturalists, or whatever you want to call them, of the Sunday worship to behave that they behave and stuff like that? All because he is about to bring in the mark of the beast, which is Sunday worship. Most of you Sunday, I would say 99% of you Sunday believers, especially of you Christian Sunday worshipers, Sunday Christian, don't know anything about this biblical teaching because y'all worship on Sunday. Your pastors know this. Your leaders know this, but they will not dare you teach this because they don't want you to know the truth about Sunday worship. But according to biblical teaching and biblical prophecy, all this stuff is going to take place during, as soon as man receives that mark upon his forehead and his hand. That's another thing too, which I have to mention. Y'all think it's a physical thing. Now, the book of Revelation is not logical. The book of Revelation is symbolic. It's not talking about a physical hand. It's not talking about a physical head or anything physical of the body. It's symbolic. Head means power, the power of man. Hand means authority, the authority of man. So the best way for the leaders of this world, especially here in the United States of America, the president, to control the public or the citizens of the United States, he got to take away the power and the authority of his citizens, which is actually our rights, I forgot what it's called, our civil rights. That's the power of man. That's the authority of man. So you seeing Trump doing this. So, but y'all don't understand why. That's why he's doing what he's doing, because he's about to bring in a new laws to enforce Sunday worship, which is biblically known as the mark of the beast. This is why y'all been teaching me things ever since I was in my mother room, and concerning the last days and end time, concerning the mark of the beast, fallen angels, and the truth about his angels. And so stuff like that, what's going to happen in these last days and end time. This is the main reason why the 144,000, which is another army of Yah, we, the 144,000, is the army of Yah on this earth. God going to use us to fight against the mark of the beast. It's going to be an all-out war. That's what y'all don't understand. That war going to be very terrifying, very horrifying, very terminal. I'm not good with words. I have like a lazy tongue, so I have a hard time pronouncing words. It's going to be worse than what man can imagine or think of or fear. So that's the best way I can explain it. We, the 144,000, going to make war against the fallen angels. That's one of our purposes. We're going to make war against the fallen angels. So that's the best way I can explain it. So y'all read these scriptures, but y'all have very little or no understanding what these scriptures actually teaching or prophesying what's going to happen in the last days and end time. Y'all so caught up in prosperity messages or messages that are going to soothe your soul and your emotions and your feelings that you want to hear, but y'all don't want to grasp the meat and the deep secrets, the deep teachings of the Almighty. That's all of y'all, not just the Sunday Christians. That's all you religious people. Even the Seventh-day Adventists and the Hebrew Israelites and other people who worship on the 7-day Sabbath. They don't want to hear this. Matter of fact, the Seventh-day Adventists used to teach this, but majority, I would say 97 of the Seventh-day Adventists don't teach this no more, because they were losing members in their congregation. Because these are frightening things that people don't want to hear. The Sunday churches don't teach this because the congregation, they don't want their congregation to know about this, because these are frightening things to hear. Because once they start teaching these things, it's very frightening. People are going to leave the church. I remember growing up, I came out of a Sunday church, a Baptist Sunday church. They used to teach some of the things that God was showing me. They didn't know as much as God was showing me, but they knew enough to start teaching it. And then when they was teaching it, majority of the congregation was coming back to church on Sundays. They were scared because they was having all kinds of nightmares and bad dreams of how fallen angels going to torment man. So at that time, as a little child, a lot of the Sunday leaders and preachers got together. They came to a conclusion to stop teaching this kind of message and change the message to a prosperity message. So this is why in all y'all religion, especially in the Sunday Christian religion, you hear the message of prosperity or healing or casting out demons, whatever you Sunday people call it. So this is the main message they teaching now, but they stay away from anything that is frightening or terrifying to the congregation. But that's a whole different story. So now God, Yah is telling me, speak on these things to warn the people what's about to happen very soon. Like I say, I don't know when these things going to happen, but they're going to happen. But based upon my research and study of the scriptures of King James Version, it's going to happen when the mark of the beast take place. Now, but I must be careful there, because there are some prisons that have already been opened, and there are some prisons that God is opening now to release demonic beings to possess, influence mankind. This is why in the last year now, just within this year alone, and I'm not even talking about last year, but just in this year alone, and the violence and all kinds of trouble have skyrocketed far above the norm. People are saying how people behaving in the world today, especially here in the United States of America, is not normal. So what we're seeing now, we are seeing people are being greatly influenced and possessed by demonic beings, fallen angels, to possess them to do all kinds of horrifying crimes. We are seeing that now, building up to greater events that the Bible speaks of. But nobody don't want to talk about it because they don't know what it was. They know that this is bad and Satan is doing this and people are being possessed by demonic forces, but they don't clearly understand the decree or the degree of these things. So things is really out of hand, so it's not getting bad. Things are bad, and it's getting worse and worse and worse as the day go on until the mark of the beast get here. Then once the mark of the beast, Sunday law get here, it is going to explode out of control. That's the best way I can explain it. But y'all people is not being taught that and prepare for that, and so as a prophet of Yah, it is my responsibility to warn the people when the Lord tell me to. So that's what I'm doing now. But at the same time, I'm keeping it very basic and very simple so you may understand. because a lot of y'all is not going to comprehend this. A lot of y'all not going to want to hear this because based upon your own religious teaching and beliefs. Because a lot of y'all say y'all believe in the Bible, but y'all really don't believe in the Bible. That's why y'all don't have no power. You know, and I'm gonna use my example. I'm gonna use myself for example. Y'all don't know me, and like I don't know y'all. I'm 62 years old. You do a background check on me, you will find I used to work for different agencies in the government. And one of the reasons I used to work for different agencies in the government, I was born a well-gifted genius. In all honesty and sincerity, there's nothing I cannot do. There's nothing I do not know. There's nothing I do not understand. And there's nothing I have no knowledge of. That's how well Aniyah, my God, have blessed me to be a well-gifted genius. This is documented in my